Yeah. YouTube! What's up, baby? Back in the sink again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're here to talk about a movie called You People. All right. Now, this is a movie that came out not too long ago. A movie that was released in 2023 was released on Netflix. This is a Netflix original, starring quite a lot of people that are popular, famous, whatever you want to say. But if you really want to just get to the nitty gritty of like who's really in there that you want to shine on, let's say Jonah Hill, let's say Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this movie came out not too long ago, 2003. You know what I'm saying? For sure. It's on Netflix, still on Netflix right now, so you guys can check it out if you guys haven't seen it. If you guys have seen it, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is already, right? Now, if you've been to this channel before, you already know how we do it. We started off with the premise. Three favorite scenes. And then a grade. Alright. Now again, this is called You People. A movie that came out 2023 on Netflix. Alright. Now the premise of this movie, we're gonna keep it real sweet and short. Alright, we're gonna keep this one real sweet and short just because you know, it's a fairly simple movie, right? It's one of those rom-com movies, right? So this movie called You People has a character named Ezra, who's played by Jonah Hill. All right. Ezra has a mother named Shelley, who's played by Julie Lois Dreyfus. And also a father named Arnold, played by David Duchovny, and a sister, Liza, played by Molly Gordon. All right, so that's Ezra and his family, which is or Jonah Hill and his family, however you want to say it, right? And then you got Lauren London, who's playing a character named Amira. All right, now her father is Eddie Murphy, who is Akbar. She also has a mother named Fatima, played by Nia Long. Also a brother named Omar, played by Taco Bennett. And then also an uncle named Uncle EJ, played by Mike Epps. All right. So that's Lauren London's side of the family, and then you got Ezra's side of the family. Or I'm sorry. That's Amira's side of the family. Then you got Ezra's side of the family. All right. Now, Ezra and Amira end up just coincidentally meeting up on like just an awkward situation. He's looking for an Uber. She's lost and she's trying to find a way to get to where she wants to go. So she stops to get into directions from her phone on her phone. He ends up seeing the car, seeing that this is the Uber that he called for. He goes in. She screams at him. You know what I'm saying? Turns out being that the Uber driver has a similar car, also looks similar to Amira. So this little weird coincidence ends up being like a little icebreaker, you know what I'm saying? Being that Ezra character likes Amira, he ends up kind of like, you know, trying to flirt, you know what I'm saying? And it ends up working out, all right? So they end up going out. They end up really liking each other. They continue to go out and things end up getting serious to the point where in which he wants to meet her family and she wants to meet his family. So we end up getting to a situation where that happens. She meets his family, he meets her family, and then eventually, although all these situations weren't the best of interactions between you know the new family, right? They still had interaction, so it was needed. And then eventually we get to the point where both families meet each other, all right, all together. And we get to a point where we see that, because Ezra is Jewish and because Amira is Muslim, this is causing a divide between the family. Not only that, but also, sometimes people feel like, the whole interracial relationships aren't how things should go, which I have no problems with interracial relationships, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be. But, the whole black and white thing, you know what I'm saying, or the whole Jewish and Muslim thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they have that diversity between each other. And also just being that the families are highly different, you know what I'm saying? This causes friction between not just the family, but also just between Ezra and Amira, to the point where it's like, do we really want to get married? Is this really worth doing this? And, that's where I'm going to end it. All right. So they got to figure out, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth going through all these trials and tribulations for our love? And, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If everybody, if we can come around with it, everybody else is gonna have no choice but to come around. You know what I'm saying? So that's the question. Will that happen? All right. Now there's other little side little plots in the movie that I did not talk about. There's other characters in the movie that I didn't talk about. There's other actors that are well known in the movie that I didn't talk about either. I just wanted to briefly touch on both of the families, and then tell you the obligation that they have themselves and to fix the situation between race and religion and just family in general, right? So yeah, that's the premise of the movie. Three of my favorite scenes. Now these may be out of order, but still, these are three of my favorite scenes. These will be spoilerish, so if you haven't seen the movie, please pause the video, come back later. You'll hear it. If you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie and you just don't care about it, anything being spoilerish, then, enjoy. All right. So my three favorite scenes would definitely be the scene where Ezra and Akbar are in the car and they're driving to the park, right? But as they're driving to the park, Akbar ends up playing, Jiggas in Paris, you feel me? And because of that, he made the situation awkward between, himself and Ezra. So, but it just was a funny scenario. Him trying to make Ezra say the name of the song because the song is Niggas in Paris, you know what I'm saying? And being that Ezra's white or Jewish, however you want to say it, like, he's not allowed to say that, right? So that was just a real funny scene. And then even also coming around towards the end, at the end of the movie, when they end up having a celebration. I don't want to spoil it too much, but when they have a celebration, that song is played at the end. So that was cool. So that would be my first favorite scene. My second favorite scene would be the dinner table scene, all right? Now, this was a funny scene. It was a serious scene. It was an educational scene. And it was a very entertaining scene from both points of the sides of the family, as far as religion, race, however you want to say it. It was a really dope scene, and then also just the way that everything ended with the Kufi being burned off by accident. It being a present given personally to Akbar from um, um, I am from Farrakhan or whatever, right? So like it was a funny scene, bro. It was a funny scene. So that'll be um, my second favorite scene. My third favorite scene would be now this is not funny at all. This is like really serious, and it just was like a really emotional scene. Like, but I just thought it was crazy, and especially how it just was like simultaneously happening, and both Ezra and Amira were going through the same situation at the same time. With people that were supposed to be family and were not acting to them in that matter. So I would say when Ezra goes off on Akbar, you know what I'm saying? Akbar pulls Ezra to the side, tells him da 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 da, and like just when you think that Ezra just gonna sit there and take what Akbar said, Ezra had enough, and he was like, "Look, you know what? Like you're right about this and that, da 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 da, but this, and it just was a crazy scene, and it really opened up Akbar to realizing how he had been such a jerk to um, Ezra, because all Ezra in the end of the day, despite any flaws or whatever, da 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 da, he's not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? He's human, and at the end of the day, he's specifically shown that he cares for Amira, and that should be all that matters. But it's not for Akbar. It's everything else. You know what I'm saying? So, but that and then that simultaneously happening while Amira goes and ends up talking to Shelly and explains to her that like, look, like you're treating me like some token, black daughter, and oh, whatever it may be, and the way that you talk to me is like you're not even talking to me as a human being, like you're talking to me like an object. Like it's just it's not even fun. You feel me? Like you're not even recognizing me as another human being, another woman, just such as yourself. You look at me and you're just, oh, your hair is so crazy, like these curls, and is it this and is it that, and do you look like, what I'm saying, trying to be so hip and so with the times, trying to fit in with the Joneses, if you will, right? But in all reality, in order to do that, all you really got to do is just be yourself and acknowledge her as a woman as she acknowledges you as a woman. You know what I'm saying? So that, like, I just thought it was like really cool, like simultaneously, like, I feel like for Amira, the biggest, like influence and most important piece of her life was Akbar, and I feel like for Ezra, the most influence and the biggest part of for his life was Shelly, and it was just so funny that both of those people, ended up causing problems for their kids' significant other, and whether it was done purposely or not, it still happened. You know what I'm saying? Like I just thought that was a it just was a very beautiful situation. And it's something that can really happen in real life too, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like it was really like it just was really eye opening, right? So that'll be three of my favorite scenes. The movie for this, the grade for this movie, it's not the most perfect movie. I feel like, the story, I feel like the movie was going very, very well. Like it was paced very well. And then I feel like towards the end, like it just kind of ended abruptly. And I felt like the movie could have been stronger if it ended abruptly and things were like still like in shambles. Like kind of letting you know that like, like this is a movie, but like in real life, I'm saying, things like this happen, and at the end of the day, it's not always like rainbows and sunshines, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ends bad, you know what I'm saying? If it ended like that, I kind of would have like gave it even a higher like grade, even though it would have been sadder or even more sad situation had taken place. But I still would have gave it a higher grade. But the way that it ended, it was like, okay, so we're going through all this turmoil. Okay, we come to the resolution, and everything is just good. But it just felt like everything reaching to it, getting to the point of it being good, like it just felt like it was rushed. And like we just spent all that time with all these problems and talking about this religion and this and race and stuff like that. And it just was like, oh, we're just gonna put a band-aid on it and everything's cool. It's like, nah, like let's really like hash it out. You feel me? Like let's really like, you know? But at the end of the day, I thought the movie was what it was, and to me, I thought it was a good time, entertaining time. I'm gonna get this movie 8.7 out of 10. Okay, so 8.7 out of 10, definitely above average, definitely worth the time. It kind of was like another Meet the Parents to me, or Meet the Fockers to me, whatever you want to say, but more so Meet the Parents because that was the first one, Meet the Parents. So it's like it's kind of like a black and white version of like I Meet the Parents, right? Or like a black version of Meet the Parents, right? You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, but yeah, definitely worth your time. If you guys saw the movie, let me know some of your favorite scenes. Did you guys like the movie for like just the comedy? Did you like the movie for the messages? Did you like the movie for all the actors and the acting that was in it? Like what specifically um, um, was highlighting itself to the point where you're like, okay, I gotta talk about this. I like it. I like this because of that. Let me know about that. If you guys haven't seen the movie, hopefully my premise and what I talk about right now makes you go see it. And then if you do, come back and let me know what you guys thought about the movie. All right. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie. Until next time.